And here we are back. Everybody's making it just barely on time. A lot of people are puffing and puffing as they sit down in front of their desks. But we're back again, raring to go, with another episode of Crone's Crucible and Waterdeep, which we call Water Dance. Anybody got anything from the week to share before we give the summary of where we stand?
I have not slept properly in 5 days. I'm currently running on 2 hours of sleep.
Well, you ought to be in great shape. You'll be making such silly comments that it'll be right in keeping with everything.
Wait, so how's that different than usual?
You are more stressed than usual.
So don't push me!
I always love to tell the WoW tale from my heydays of WoW about the episode when we always played the villains, most of the ones here, except for Brett, who was the good guy. Most of us here...
Everyone point at him and laugh.
Right, there, that guy right there. But, yeah, we were all the villains, and we had one night when we were attempting to steal away a prisoner they had caught, and we had to spend some very late hours, and I played dual characters. I played a good guy and a bad guy, and so I had to stay up because my characters were vital, and as it got to be about 4 o'clock in the morning, our humor got more and more stupid as we were waiting for the good guys to literally go to bed in real life so that we could sneak in and grab their prisoner. And the one guy that was in our guild at that time was getting very annoyed because it was getting so late or early. And he started making some very stupid jokes, and I was at lampshade stage. And I just found his insults he was throwing at me just so stupidly funny that I literally slithered off my chair and laid on the floor, howling with laughter. And it just made him so mad that I found his comments funny. And the madder he got, the funnier it got to me. So yeah, it can be really fun. Yes, it can. Lack of sleep can almost be fun in the right circumstances.
Episode is not sponsored.
I'd almost hate to ask. It's like, was that one of the nights that I was involved, or was that with some other group?
I don't know. It was when Farala got captured.
Oh, that was not my group. Thank God.
Yeah, she was captured by orcs and
it was the coalition, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a whole bunch of them. And we were, Scar and me and several others were trying to get her out. And I know that, was it you, Apple? You pounced on the plateau and knocked Lone Mesh, Zork, off the plateau, and it was a wild night.
I wish I was there for those days.
Memories.
Yeah, it was fun.
But now those days are gone, and they're never coming back.
Yep, that's true.
Wow, thanks, Appo. Anyway, back to D&D.
Yep. So now we're making new history on D&D. We're in great shape. So last week we had a wild ending going on here. We basically wound up, although the group was together, the circumstances wound up splitting them up. The shepherd decided to fly and go over the wall into the grounds, got attacked by 2 mastiffs and a groundskeeper who turned out to be shadow creatures of some kind. They keep changing back and forth as they're trying to get at him. He's still flying, but his stamina's giving out. So we'll see how long he can manage this. Meanwhile, while he was distracting the groundskeeper, Cashin, Varys, and Relian sneaked around the back and managed to lockpick their way into the grounds from the back and through the stables. They are now in the manor itself, have encountered a bunch of fighting going on, found a bunch of dead bodies. They have fought their way over to the stairs, where they have killed one of the defending thugs there. The other one is almost dead but surrendered, but he's looking around pretty wildly. You know that he's either going to try to make a run for it or do something, but he's got his hands in the air at the moment. Meanwhile, Nokri and Epiphany, who were also trying to distract at the front gate, noticed that a lot of looky-loos were starting to hear some of the noise and wild yelling and things going on from the grounds and inside the manor itself. They decided they better hightail it around and see if they could get inside as well. So they went around the back, and as they were finishing their journey around to the back of the manor, they were starting to see a lot of the local nobles, passers-by, strollers, neighbors, what have you, were starting to gather and move towards the front at the entrance to the grounds. It has gathered notice. Things are going on. So it is very likely that someone is going to be notifying the guards here at some point. So you can be pretty sure something is going to be activity from the city watch or the city guards of some kind. So when we left off...
I do have a question for the group before we get into any sort of initiative.
Uh-huh.
What is our plan with the nimble right? Are we trying to get it out alive, destroy it and help the guards? What are we doing?
We're trying to retrieve the nimble right.
Yeah, we're
Retrieve it.
trying to get to the house of inspired hands.
Functioning or...
I would say as functioning as we can get it. Because
As functioning as it allows us.
Yeah. I mean, they can always fix what is broke, but...
It could already be destroyed for all we know.
Yeah. We're still not 100% sure what's going on.
Wink, wink.
I'm not saying destroy it. Please don't destroy it. I mean,
Don't
it's
destroy it.
right, for God's sake.
I know.
We have to destroy it, then it was short before we got there. I picked up what you were putting down.
Yeah. Like, I don't think these things come with a black box. I think we're okay.
Okay. Perhaps indeed.
Yeah, and to recap why they are at this estate to begin with, there is a rogue Nimblewright which apparently was involved in the blast that was near the Troll Skull Inn, and after a journey around to find information, they realized this rogue Nimblewright was out of control of the Temple of Gon, the House of Inspired Hands, and they were supposed to be under control by regulations from the city itself. They were supposed to keep them under. So they were pretty upset that there was one that was running around without their control. Turned out to have been created by one of their own Nimblewrights who was lonely. And it got loose, and he was in trouble for doing it and so forth. So they have tracked it through a device they have tracked at least 2 Nimblewrights in the city. And there's one here and one down by the docks, and they've decided to see if the one in here is the Nimblewright that they are after. So this is where they've chosen to come in. So when we left off, we were at the point at the top of the turn order, and I now have on the initiative order, you will see come up as you scroll down to the end, a turn counter. I figure we are now on turn 8. How long does your flying last? I counted back on our actions.
It is 1 minute.
All right, so you are, that's 1 minute is
10 rounds.
10 rounds. Okay, so you've got 2.
6 seconds round.
Yeah. So you have 2 more rounds. You're currently on round 8, but you'll see that come up, and I'll be raising that number each time because not only does it apply to your flying, it applies to other things that are going on. So I am using that as, I'll put it on the screen here so that the people who are watching trying to figure out how this works, they'll see that I've got a character identified as combat round, and each time I go across that character, I will up it by 1 so that we know what round we're in. That'll help us a little bit with what we're doing.
That's neat. Good idea.
All right, so we are at the top of the turner. I may also mention, because the video is for some people instruction for running Waterdeep themselves, We were discussing this week, and we have all agreed that the way they have it set up with an almost spreadsheet level of maintenance for coming to whether you have enough money or not to open the Troll Skull Inn can grind to a halt at times and can be a bit of a problem. And then it is those hours of grinding out money are then followed by panic levels of activity. So we are going to try a little bit different technique, and basically I would recommend to you who are going to run Waterdeep to not be too spreadsheet oriented, to instead just kind of generally say, well, we're getting gold, we're moving in the right direction, we think we're getting pretty close to it, let's just call it as you've gotten enough gold for the first floor or the second floor or whatever you need, and go from there. Because when you get bogged down in the spreadsheet, you get this uneven flow in the game, and so we're going to try it a little bit different.
And I would,
Go ahead.
I would say, like, if you don't know your party too, like if your players are all like super into like Kingmaker or managing that sort of stuff, maybe expand it.
Yeah.
Don't just read your players. Don't do it. Don't just go for the spreadsheet because you want to do it. But if your players are into that sort of thing, like if they're all into that sort of thing, then it's there for you.
Don't spread yourself too thin.
Ms.
Yeah.
Ruth,
Go ahead.
Do you actually know what I thought you were about to say? I thought you were about to say, for those of you who are wanting to run Waterdeep, take this as a lesson. Don't run Waterdeep.
No, I wouldn't say that, because I do think it's a fun module.
It's a fun module. I just thought that's where you were going with this.
Yeah, and I would never say that. I'm just saying that as I go through, and I'm running another team that's running Waterdeep, and they're behind this one, and I'm running it differently because I learned from this one, and the pacing has smoothed out very nicely. So I'm just saying that spreadsheet versus panic makes a very strange pacing for the module as a whole. So you may want to evaluate that if you are setting up and running Waterdeep. All right, we are up to the groundskeeper, who is trying desperately to do whatever he can to get at the shepherd, who is currently still flying above him. So I need his character, which is that one. All right, he is going to, let me move this down because there's some things on there you can't see. He is going to throw and inflict wounds at the shepherd. And he...
Is inflict wounds...
Yeah, isn't that a melee spell?
Maybe. Yes, it may be.
I played as a cleric before. The only reason I intervene is inflict wounds.
I think that's why I hadn't used it already. Yes, it's a touch spell, so I will not use that. Thank you for mentioning it very much.
Yep.
If he has guiding bolt, you can Kamehameha him.
This is an undead creature.
I am a fair player.
No, that's fine with me. I don't have any problem with people doing that.
I'm sure there's a knife right over here that you can pick up and throw at me again. I think that was what you had.
That was, yeah, I know, but I'm trying to expand it just a bit.
Have him start throwing rocks.
Stop giving her ideas.
Throw one of the dogs at me.
There you go.
I'm going to mute myself to laugh.
Let's see what happens with this.
Just as a reminder, I am 40 feet up in the air.
Okay, when the DM says, let's see what happens with this, that's never a good sign.
That's why I gave out the reminder that I'm still 40 feet up in the air.
This is a 60-foot spell.
Okay.
That's the part where you know you've earned the DM's ire.
He is going to attempt to hold person and paralyze you. He can only cast it at level 2 because he doesn't have anything higher. So let's see You choose a humanoid that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom save or be paralyzed, and his wisdom save is 11, so fairly easy to beat. So let's see what you can do.
21.
Okay, you feel your skin start to crackle just a bit as it tries to freeze up, but you manage to slough it off. Relian, it is you.
Okay, so Relian, seeing as the situation is well in hand, still in his crotchety old man disguise, I would like to point out.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Is he's running to this first thug, and then running to this second thug. He's checking their necks and the back of their hands, looking for any of the usual spots to see if there's any markings that he may recognize.
You find the fists.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good.
Let me now mark them with the fists so that that is verified and you know what you are finding on both the one that is on his knees in front of Varys and the one that's dead in front of Cashin. You do find our fist symbol, and I find where it is on here.
Is Relian, like, obviously yanking open their clothes to look at tattoos, or is
Yes,
he being kind
he
of
is.
subtle about it?
No, he is not being subtle, right?
Okay.
Don't strip the prisoners. What?
Oh,
No, I was going, if he was trying to be subtle about it, I was going to start talking to him about how it's not the time to be looting the dead.
As things slow down just a bit here at the foot of the stairs, you are hearing major battle going on from upstairs. It hasn't slowed down a bit, and there's a lot of yelling going on upstairs. Varys would notice that the door is ajar beside him. He can see slightly into like a receiving room or parlor kind of area, and he does see that there's some blood stains leading up to the door, although they were fading out by the time they got to the door and didn't track further out. The blood that you see on the other side of you is from the bodies that are there behind you. But there apparently was also something that went on inside that room somehow that you can tell there's more blood in there because you're right at the angle to see in to that partially open door. So somebody came out of there in the process of what's going on. All right, so Relian has moved up and done it. That is pretty much your action since you are actually actively searching under their collars to see what they've got. Anything you want to say or do before I move on to Nokri?
Relian's just going to put a gnarled finger to his crusty old lips, and he's actually going to use the rest of his movement to try to slink up the stairs partly.
Okay, so you're
As
going
I saw
up.
10 feet.
Yeah, you can go up to the almost the landing there on the stairs. Okie doke. Nokri, I'll say you and Epiphany together, what are the pair of you doing? Well, just right now, since you're not in battle, what are you going to do?
I think we agreed on checking out the whimpering noise if we heard it.
All right. Yeah, you can hear crying and whimpering coming from the area here, the door right here.
Okay, so that's where I will move said token. Sorry, excuse me. Gonna carefully check to see if it's locked, unlocked, and...
It looks like it's locked, but as you look at the lock, it's not the kind of lock that looks like it was meant to be a fortress. It's kind of a wimpy lock. You could break it in if you wanted. How are you inspecting this for its opening? You kind of rattle it a little bit, and you hear startled sounds from the other side of the door, like you hear a gruff voice and more whimpering from the other side of the door. What are you doing specifically with the door?
I was just kind of like give it that like nudge to see nudge or pull to see if it opens.
From the other side of the door, Give me a stealth. I want to find out how much it rattled. Not whether you're stealth or not, but just how much it rattled in general. Give me a stealth roll and let me see if you made a lot of noise or just a very slight movement. Okay, so you made quite a bit of noise in the process of doing that. So the man, you hear a man's voice on the other side yell at you, "Don't come in! I'm iron! I'm armed! I'm armed!" But the sound of the voice doesn't sound like he's real confident with himself.
Oh God, it's faced with that kind of a situation.
Hold on, let me see. That would be bad. Never mind.
Yeah. No. I can't openly ask him.
Do you require assistance?
We're fine. Stay out. Stay out. Who are you?
We are neighbors. We had heard some commotion and came to investigate. You have strange occurrences going on your grounds.
Oh, go save the lady. The lady's in trouble. They're attacking her. They've killed a bunch of us.
Where is the lady?
I think she's upstairs. She and the master fled upstairs with the children.
Are you able to assist us?
No, sir. I think we'd better stay in here, sir, if you don't mind.
And what is your name?
My name's Ralph.
Very well, Ralph. You will hold this place.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, sir. Find out what happened to Tom and the head maid.
Epiphany sends a message, creates the link with Knocker and just says, "We believe someone is about to become fired."
I'll just give out a small chuckle. Ralph, you said your name is. I am Nokri Nakaris. The back door by in the stable type area, it's unlocked and open. Go out to the street and alert the guards of what's happening. We will continue inside and see if we can't get to your lady. But at least let them know that there is something amiss. It seems that your front gatesman is not who he says he is.
Oh, well, yeah. We kind of know that. But, yeah. And the door, you can hear it unlatching with a simple deadbolt kind of latch. And the door cracks open very slightly, and you see a slightly past middle age servant, very plain-looking clothes, looking out with very large, terrified eyes, and he has a meat cleaver in his hand. And behind him, you can see at the far end of it, I'll take the dynamic lighting off the door so you can actually see what I'm describing here. Mm-hmm. At the far end, you see a door out to the other end with another man dressed about the same, that is guarding, shall we say, that door. And huddled in the room in various places are what clearly look like maids, who are huddled down and pulling back from the door area. And he kind of looks out and looks you guys up and down, seems to tell that you are not the ones that have attacked the estate, and he kind of edges past you with a hesitant look and starts for the stable.
I'm gonna gently put my hand on his shoulder to kind of like, just not super strong stop him, but just like, hey, wait a second. One of you needs to go around and tell the one up front that he is fighting people who are allies to your lady. Get him to stop attacking the angel and tell the angel to get inside.
No, I am not speaking in code.
Angel?
You will understand when you see it.
Yes, my lady. Frank, Go out your side, see what you see out there. And the other man on the other end looks at him and kind of looks like, you're pulling my leg, right? But he cracks open the door on the other side to see what he can see. And sure enough, he sees this shining flying being and these other things fighting out there in the yard when he steps out a little bit.
So, and then I'll look at the guy and goes, what is the fastest way to get upstairs?
He points at the door right there to your left.
Alright, let's go, Epiphany.
Okay, you've got a bit more movement, I think, if you want to use it, either of you.
How much did I move before? Let's see. Or does it matter since we're not in combat?
It's not going to matter a huge amount, but obviously it'll determine how long it takes you till you get in combat, so be reasonably close.
Okay. I'll probably just ask Epiphany before I head through. Stealthy or just barge our way in?
We have been asked by these fine gentlemen to go help the lady of the house.
And you can tell that the door to your left has already been opened. Somebody has looked out of it at some point.
We will go, and then it will be the thing from the vat that has helped instead of these fine gentlemen.
Let us go anyways. And then I will move. Is this one that's the one that's opened over here?
Yep.
Okay.
It should be, the door should be off there, yeah. Okay. And as you step in, you see the same thing they saw last time, which was a kitchen area, various food preparation areas that all these rooms are, and all of it has food out on sideboards, tables, in pots, ready to be served. It was clear that lunch was about to be served when all this broke out. So you are in a food preparation and serving area at this point. All right, Cashin.
Well, Cashin is going to loot this body in front of him.
You find a necklace with the fist serpent symbol on it, as well as the thing on the neck. You also find, and I've got to roll here. You find 5 gold on his body.
He just pockets that. She keeps his rapier at the ready and starts going up the stairs.
Okay, so you have enough movement to not only get to the landing, but actually get slightly upstairs. Hold on just a moment. I'm going to shift your character. That one will disappear, and your new one will appear in a moment.
So, technical update, Mink's computer crashed. He does have what he wanted to do for his turn in Discord, but he is also saying, Icely, cash in, now is not the time for looting.
Oh, I noticed.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it for the
Stream sake.
for the stream. So, yeah, he's saying, cash in, now is not the time for looting.
all right, Cashin, you will now need to scroll way up. You will find yourself at the, you will get up to the top of the stairs and find yourself as you get there I'll put you down just a bit. And I don't have you on the right. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not seeing myself.
No, you wouldn't be. Hold on. Now you will.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Language?
like I say at the beginning, sometimes we get excited and things go as you get your head up above where you can see the landing, which is, you kind of have to go back and forth, but you get up above, you realize there are men fighting all over this place. They clearly look from the more shabby thug-looking clothing and some black cloaks and the tabards with the rampant hounds on them. You are able to tell that the house guards are fighting some kind of Zhentarim, probably. It's what it appears to be from what you're looking at the cloaks. So that's what you've got. Now, since you were looting and then walking, I'll say that at this point you're evaluating what you do next. They have not noticed you because they are very much fighting. Some of the men look like they're bleeding. Some of them look like they're in pretty good shape. So let me also pull some of these others up that are, because now we're going to start having them on the turn list.
Should I roll for stealth so I can go higher?
Yes, you can. See how quietly you come up those stairs. Not terribly quietly, but it doesn't really matter because although one of them looks at you coming up, he's in a sword battle for his life, and he frowns as he sees more people coming. You hear from down below, the man that's on his knees by Varys yells, "Oi! More coming up! Get out!" All right, back to the bottom floor. That was the thug there. Nope, we'll be going back up. The thugs upstairs are fighting these guards, and we've got 1, 2, 3 attacks that I need to make for thugs. They are all in their melee range, and they are doubles. 1. Ouch. Let's see what his armor class is. Okay, he only hit once for 8 on that guard. The next guy in line, he's hitting the next guard over. Yeah. 1. He doesn't hit at all, and the final guy is attacking a guy that's looking in a little bit better armor. He's probably fighting the captain of the house guard. And both of those hit for 8 damage on the captain. All right, next one up is Shepherd.
What about Mink?
Yeah, Varys.
Oh, somehow or other I didn't even notice it. Yeah, it is Varys' turn.
And for some reason, Cashin is missing on the turn order. I don't know if that's just me or if
that's because he got moved upstairs. What was your number,
9.
Cashin?
Yeah, he was in between Epiphany and Varys.
Also, as to what Varys actually wants to do, the thug on the ground who's blabbing, he wants to give him a non-lethal attack to the temple to kind of either shut him up or knock him out, whichever works.
You can do that on your round. His round is over, so he won't be doing anything else. Let me move Cashin back into his place. All right. So, what is Varys doing?
That is what Varys is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Varys is, okay. Varys is going to, okay, so let me pull up his sheet or give one of you control over his sheet so he can do an unarmed attack or something for that purpose.
Probably someone that's in the room with him. Or can at least see what's going on, because I only have visibility on the outside.
Okay, so Varys said he wants to stab this guy in the chest with a trident.
Okay.
Oh,
Whack him with
that-
the side of the trident. Whack him with the side of the trident. Don't say stuff like that. She'll take it seriously.
Yeah, I will. I will. All right. So Relian,
Don't give it the.
Relian for right now.
I can be trusted.
No,
Sure, you can. Anyway, you do indeed. You are getting control of Varys's character so that you can roll for him. So give a Whackaroony attack on that one.
I should have just said give it to me.
Too late, you had your chance. So just roll one of his trident attacks, and we'll
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 does not hit him, but it does. It does make him glare at Varys, and he does at least shut up for the time being. He's glaring at you guys, but he clamps his jaw shut. All right.
Double checking. You guys did tie him up, right?
No, he's just got his hands on top of his head, basically. He's on his knees with his hands on top of his head.
Mink switched it up after the guy blabbed. He wanted to attack the guy to shut him up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, he missed whatever, so the guy...
It was originally tie the guy to the table and ask him questions, but since he talked,
Well, he missed. So, anyway, the guy is right now glaring at you, but he's not saying anything further at this moment. So, Shepard, what are you
bonus
doing?
action punch.
Okay.
So, Varys says bonus action punch.
Well, whatever. We've rolled. We're using that. Let's go on.
Okay.
Shepard.
I have
Has that guy that ran out said anything to me yet?
No, at this point he's not. I'm using the turn order marker for the turns on any servant activities.
Roger that. Bonus action is the spiritual weapon. I'm assuming the 7 does not hit.
It does not.
I am going to float down about 25 feet so that I am 15 feet up in the air, and I am going to main action. What is it called? Channel Divinity, turn undead.
Okay.
They must make a wisdom saving throw of DC 13. Here, I'll just, nope, that ain't it. There you go. There it is, so you can read it. The DC is 13 for wisdom saving throw.
Okay, let me give his. He rolls a 19. Let me see about the puppy dog, the shadow puppy dogs. Where are they? Too many sheets here. There they are. Their wisdom save. Jeez, they're all rolling unbelievably high. I don't believe this. The 2 puppy dogs critted.
Nice.
So the order was 19, 20, 20 that they rolled. Wow.
They all save.
Yeah.
So nothing happens.
But you've
Don't worry.
kept them tied up and busy for another round. All right.
Don't worry.
Right.
Channel Divinity doesn't always work.
The captain of the guards up where Cassian is attempts to do his attack on the guy that's attacking him. He has 2 attacks with he's using a 2-handed version of longsword. And let me see here. One of them hits for 12 slashing damage on the guy in front of him. That guy had already been bleeding a bit, and he just took a bunch more. So the captain of the guard seems to be holding his own. We now come up to the thing called combat round, which is where I'm using for the servants' actions. The guy at the north end of that room comes out running, waving his arms. Oi, oi, stop, stop! He needs to get in to help the lady! The groundskeeper turns and looks at him with a bit of surprise, but that's all that goes on at this point. All right. As Cashin has appeared a little bit and people are starting to yell that you guys are on the way up, the guy, Cashin, who is pretty much the furthest from you, standing in the doorway a ways away from you, turns and he yells, "All right, take off the gloves. We're gonna kill them all." And he says, "I'm going to get the master. This is enough of this stuff." And he heads for the room behind him. I am doing some things here. And let's get them as well. You hear several things going on. All of you that are near the stairs or up in the stairs hear several things going on. Cashin not only hears all this yelling going on, but he hears an odd creaking and grinding noise, doors opening and closing, and things going on. In the yard, let's see exactly. I've got to see where this lays on top of things. It's right there. All right. You, Shepherd, see a balcony that is on the second floor above you. It sticks out further than the front door. It sticks out 15 feet further than the front door. It overhangs the front of the building. It stops at the end. Let me show you where you're looking right now. Basically, this area here you see that square, that rectangle? That is basically the overhang area of the balcony. You hear a door open, and from your slight raised position, you see what I will say you don't even have to roll to recognize is a mechanical man comes running out onto that balcony, jumps from the balcony onto the building of the area that the servant ran out of, runs across this way onto the roof of this building here, and jumps over into this area somewhere to the east and out of your sight.
Oh no, the Nimblewright became a crime lord.
All right, so that's basically what you are able to see is across the balcony runs a mechanical man, jumps onto the roof, goes over the building, and disappears down the back, probably is heading out the back gate. So, and you saw the outside. Cashin heard the sounds inside and heard the men yelling inside. Meanwhile, Relian, give me a perception roll. I want to know if you recognize this voice.
Oh, fudge monkeys.
Can I also do a perception roll to see if I hear the thump on the roof?
Yes.
Yay.
Oh. Knew that was coming.
So, Mink needs his, and doing your perception.
Nope.
Okay, yep.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's
Nope.
just too much noise from where you are. The one that gets the best view of all this is clearly the shepherd. Relian, I will say that you blink for a moment and you kind of think the voice sounds familiar. It is not unknown to you. You just don't know where you have heard this voice before.
Grandma?
No, why don't you just call it me, Mom? It's cute or something.
So the guy that yelled that has a kind of recognizable voice is, you hear him, Cashin, inside the room that he disappeared into, and you hear a light sound of something being fiddled. It sounds like lightweight wire of some kind.
Question, did I get a good look at him?
Yes, you got a very good look at him. He is wearing a dark cloak with the hood thrown back, and the entire actually it would be this side of his face. The entire left side of his face is. I think the picture shows it on the right.
No, right. Yeah.
Yeah, on the right
That was what got me thinking.
is burned.
So, do I have to roll an intelligence roll to make the logic leap?
Yeah, I'll let you make a fair guess, but it won't be a certainty even if you roll correctly. But I will say that if you roll good on your intelligence, you'll be able to put 2 and 2 together. Yeah, you have major suspicion that you have just spotted the guy that ran from the flames. So you probably find your black cape guy. As you are hearing all this, you hear a hissing sound coming from the room, multiple hissing sounds that sound almost like a snake that are activating, and I need to do something up here because I've got the token for that off over the side. All right, and you now hear a woman's voice clearly coming from the upstairs, and she yells, "Defend me!" And we are back to the groundskeeper, who looks at the shepherd, looks at the servant that came out of the room, and he points at the shepherd and he says, "Don't you betray me. You go and defend the lady."
I wasn't even looking at him when the servant ran out. My attention went straight to him, thinking that he was a new combatant. So I haven't said anything yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying this. The groundskeeper is yelling at you to go defend the lady because the servant said that you were here to help.
Yep.
All right, so that's all he does at this point, and he waves at the 2 shadow dogs, and they stand down. All right, so we now have the guard fighting upstairs. They get their swings in on this. So get your next moves ready while the regular guards defend themselves.
Oh, I'm ready. I hope you guys are ready for some impressive magic.
All right, I need him. Yep.
Well,
he is.
let's hope David Blake comes.
Ouch. Ow.
Goodbye, everybody.
One of the guards does a 2-handed longsword attack, one-handed. I mean, 2 one-handed attacks with his longsword. He misses on one and crits on the second for a total of 12 damage on the one that is attacking him. The second guard does hit. And he hits both times for a total of 19 on the one right beside you, Cashin. He puts quite a dent in him.
This one right here?
No, that's the guard. The one with the high collar looking thing is the thug.
The thug.
Yeah. And that's the one that just got severely wounded. All right, Relian, you're up.
Okay. Ryan's going to go up the stairs. Finish going up the stairs, I guess.
Okay, let me shift you to the upstairs area. You'll see both sides for a moment, and then I'll
And his initiative number 17. Oh, it stayed on.
Well, I haven't taken his other one off yet, so... While we've got it, I will get that added. I thank you very much. All right, now you can see up the stairs. Are you, where are you going to position yourself there with respect to Cashin? Scroll, roll, Relian, roll up to the other floor that's up to the top of the map. Where are you going? You're going to position yourself there? I'm not hearing you, Sam.
There it goes.
Okay.
Sorry, just so I can actually see, here would be a good place.
Okay, so you are right up against this thug that just took a long sword through the ribs and got severely wounded right in front of Cashin, and you can see all this going on. What you cannot see is the ones that disappeared behind the far door, but you can see 2, 4, 7 people fighting in this rather smallish room right in front of you. It's very crowded with swords swinging around everywhere. It's a dangerous place to be. Besides your movement, what are you going to do?
Relian is still in his old man disguise, is going to raise both hands to the roof and yell out, "Behold the power of old creaking bones!" And he thrusts his hands outward and bloop, bloop, bloop.
On the guy nearest you?
Yeah, I'm going to take out this guy. All 3 of those go to him. However, I have something special.
Oh, I have an idea what you're going to do.
Okay, let me take... Okay. I guess this one would fall under that, even though it's got 3 separate parts. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Still 1 action. So the first 3 are all going to this guy in front of me. However, I'm going to cast Magic Missile or Firecrackers again, this time at the 2nd level, and I'm going to split those 4 magic missiles up between this guy and this guy.
All
Okay.
of the magic missiles.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Hey.
So let me get up here. We've got 4, 7 off of the guy nearest you.
And then each of the ones in the back take 8.
All of the thugs look like they've seen better days. They're all starting to look pretty bruised. It looks like the guards were kind of holding their own before you got there, and now they're really having a problem. Okay, you've done quite a bit. Is that it?
That will be it.
From the back room where you could not see what was going on, 3 flying snakes come hissing out the door. And behind them, I'm going to move them all out there, and then behind them you can see a man kind of peeking around the door frame and is yelling orders at them. The 3 snakes one of them heads for the captain of the guards, and the other 2 snakes head for the 2 of you, Cashin and Relian. I'm going to take a number off of here because it's kind of blocking what we see. Make sure that my visual is good on the screen. Yes, it is. All right. That's supposed to be there, people who could see me rolling. That was an accidental. All right. The 3 snakes all attack flying snakes with their bites, and be aware that they cannot get opportunity attacks, just for your future reference.
I am sick of these goddamn snakes with these goddamn wings.
Holy smoke.
Uh-oh.
That's not right. Why is it throwing... Oh, I guess the poison is rolled, yeah. Sure, but it's... You see what I've got here. Something, yeah, this is set up wrong. The poison damage should be different. Oh, I guess it was 3d4. Okay. Yeah, all right. So I guess that is what it does. The captain of the guard takes a total of 11 damage, including 10 poison damage. Wow. Okay.
Ow. It's like getting hit with a magic missile.
Nothing is like getting hit with my magic missile.
No, Sam. Nothing is quite like your magical missiles.
Hey, let's get it right. He's throwing fireworks, not magic missiles.
The one attacking Cashin misses. He only rolls a 9. The one attacking Gralhund rolls a 17, which does hit, right?
Yeah. What's the damage looking like?
Does it hit or doesn't it hit? The damage would be 11 because he rolled another 10 on the poison.
Eesh, I'm gonna go ahead and take it.
Okay.
That's my HP right there.
1 piercing, 10 poison.
Oof.
These are venomous little fricks.
Yeah, they are. That's why I was checking out the stats, because I was like, holy smokes, I didn't know they did that much. All right, Nakri, what are you doing?
I believe an Ellison, or sorry, Conrad can confirm with me. You handed over the device, correct?
Yes.
Would the device be picking up that we're probably way closer to the thing that jumped out the roof now?
All right, you did not say specifically whether you left it on or off.
I would assume I would have kept it on.
Off?
On.
On. I'll tell you what, give me a d4 roll. Odd, it stayed on. Even, it's off. Because you didn't specify. Even, it's off. All right, so if you want to take an action to turn it on, you can.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll turn it back on.
All right, and I will say that you notice just barely as you turn it on, it's going.
Can the thing point me in like a direction like hot, cold, or is it just basically like a sensory range?
It's a sensory range. That's all it is.
The second that steps out of range, that thing's gonna go boop.
Yep.
And I don't know what left. Crap.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I was hoping that it would give me more if it was closer based off where you said it landed.
No, you just know that it was initially within the 50 feet of range, and then it went down. It's now buzzing in the 500-foot range.
All right, I'll start looking for the next direction that the others had gone in and start trying to head towards, basically following their footsteps.
You can see that the door north of you is open, and it wide open. The one to the south just looks like somebody briefly peeked in and then backed out because it's just slightly ajar. But the one to the north is clearly open, and you can, it looks like that is probably the way they went. I would say you probably guessed that. And as you round that stairway bend, there's a little narrow servant stairway there. You can see the door wide open into a dining room ahead of you. And I need to check something exactly. Okay, that's interesting. There's no... Okay. That's kind of weird. Anyway. All right. I wouldn't have expected that somehow. But anyway. What is Nakri doing? She's moved about 10, 20... Yeah, she's close to her 30, but she's probably got about 5 more feet of movement.
Yeah, I'll enter the room just to assess.
Okay, you can see the dead bodies on the floor all over the place. You see Varys standing at the foot of the stairs glaring at a guy on his knees and his hands on his head. Another dead body on the stairs, and the other 2 are nowhere in sight.
Cassian and Velian have already gone up.
Cashin.
You're not made of money.
Cash in.
I'd like to cash in these
cash
stairs.
money. Sorry. I'll eyeball the one that's being guarded right now.
All right.
I'll just kind of give him. I guess I'm trying to figure out from, or just straight up ask. And this one, and motions to the one on the ground.
I'm taking care of him currently.
All right.
You do see his sword on the ground out of his the thug's hand.
And upstairs, directly pretty much above your head, Varys, you hear very heavy footsteps moving from east to west above your head. Somebody doing something overhead, but it's a large individual of some kind that is moving over your head. Epiphany, what are you doing?
Epiphany is going to follow. And wrong direction. Sorry, how do I get over there? Where? Oh, that's the door. Okay, yeah. So he'll just follow up with Nakri around the corner and say, "Do we want to stop this one?" And he points to that one.
Alive. It's pretty much just stop him, but leave him alive. Basically the gist.
And since it may not be real obvious, the main front doors are right here. Because you might not, with the direct lighting, it might not be immediately obvious to you. They're seeing something quite different from those watching the video that would be seeing. What they're seeing is this.
Yeah, we'll send a mind sliver at him. So DC 13 int save or 2 psychic damage, and then he's got a minus D4 to his next saving throw before my next turn.
All right, so DC 13 intelligence save.
Yep.
There's no windows on at all to see outside to see if we can see.
Not on the lower floor. The windows are on the upper floor.
So weird. Okay.
Because they had a massive fortification fence that was as high as the lower level.
That's true. That's true.
There are a lot of candles and things burning in the house, a chandelier and various things, but there's no windows. They were, for some reason, they were abnormally fortified, but maybe, with the intrigue of Waterdeep, that may be something nobles have to do. He failed on his intelligence save. He collapses on the floor, and you can only barely tell that he is breathing.
Epiphany looks at his hand kind of like Baby Yoda did.
Yeah.
What just happened?
All right.
We touched his mind. Clearly, we were beyond him.
Did you kill him?
Do not think so.
I guess that takes care of the problem.
Now we just have to get the shepherd inside and get to the rest of them.
Upstairs, the two of you who can see upstairs, you see a door swing open, and clearly furniture has been pulled aside. It was apparently blockading a door, the doorway. Yeah, he was barricading it, and a man appears on the other side of this burnt guy, the one that you think was at the scene, and immediately attempts to attack the burnt man. Gotta get his. That's this one. All right, and he pulls out a rapier and he attempts to rapier pierce the man. He doesn't do anything of the sort. The man easily dodges and laughs in his face. Cashin, you're up.
All right. So using my cunning action, I will disengage, and I will use my disengage as I leap over this group of fighting men in order to get to the burnt man.
All right, give me a dex roll. I'm going to say with how many there are there, it's going to take you about a 12.
Acrobatics?
Yes, give me an that would work well. Acrobatics is perfect.
All right.
Nope, you just find yourself smack in the middle. You manage to push, kind of jump and leap, but you're smack in the middle of this gang, and they're kind of, this guy appears in the middle of them all of a sudden. So that's
the fence all over again.
Oh boy.
Well, you
with that,
did still take the disengage action, so you can't just leave.
well, now I'm stuck between these guys.
But they can't attack you.
I'm stuck between them, though. I'm wedged between them.
I see.
He can't go through enemies like we can go through allies.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Yep, do you have anything else?
Nothing. He's just gonna take his rapier and stab at the one in front of him.
All right. Now, cunning action, is that a bonus, or because you've got
Bonus action.
All right, so very good. You hit. What's the second? Sneak attack. Yeah, so it's 12, and you're attacking this one here.
No, this one.
All right. So yes, you definitely hit. He takes 12. Let's see what he's got left. Yeah, he's still alive, but he's bleeding from a lot of wounds, and he's slowly starting to back up, like he's trying to get closer to the guy in the other room or something. He's not trying to get away from you yet, but he is trying to distance himself a little bit. All right, so the upstairs, let's see, actually this thug needs to go off because the upstairs thug was a different group. The thugs upstairs have their actions, and so the one near you, Cashin, that you just stabbed, he stops attacking the guard and attempts to hit you. Swings his mace, whack, whack. He rolls a 15 and a 10. I don't think that's enough.
15 does hit.
Oh, okay. So the 15, he made 3 bludgeoning damage with his mace. The one nearest Gralhund is actually going to keep trying to attack the guard who is injured, so he is going to try to finish off the guard. And he, I think, misses twice. Yes, he misses twice. He does not hit anything. And finally, this last thug that is is fighting the guard, he takes a disengage similar to what you did, cunning action type of thing, and he backs into the room here and instead it tries to attack the man who was coming out of the door. Oh, he hit him. Oh, the man is down.
Wow, what a hero.
Wait, which one?
The one with the goatee.
The one who just walked out of the room.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, so yeah, definitely Flame Face has got to be our priority target then. Once we get up there and see him.
All right, so we are now at the shepherd.
What about Varys?
Oh yeah, Varys. You keep forgetting Varys.
I don't know why I keep skipping that.
I'm just that stealthy.
As a monk.
Nobody notices me, not even the...
There we go. Okay, yes.
Varys is going to take this, well, no longer moving body, though not dead. He is going to drag him over to this, like, the table leg. Is going to tie his hands together and then put a few laps around the table leg itself so that he can, in a hurry, cut the ropes that are on the table leg and his hands are still tied together.
Okay, and he is unconscious. He's down to 1 point, so he is he's unconscious.
He is then... That was about 5 feet of movement, so another 5 feet of movement, come over to this door and peek inside, see what's going on in there. I've already used my action.
And like I said, you can see a trail of bloody footprints leading out of a door on the south wall. It just looks like a little parlor, sort of private parlor area with a chair and some books on a table and various things and a bare rug thing.
Do the bloody footprints in there appear to match the bloody footprints that are in the main room?
They do exactly the same looking.
And are the bottoms of this guy's feet all bloody?
Which guy's feet?
The guy just tied to the table.
There's a lot of blood around, but they don't look like they were bloody enough. There's blood on his pants legs and a few things. Does not look like there was enough blood on the bottom of his feet to have made this many footprints.
Interesting. Well, whatever is in there is probably already dead, so I'm going to use the rest of my movement to make my way up. Well, not the rest, quite the rest of my movement.
And I'm remembering...
30, so I still have 20.
Very good. I'm going to delete you from there. You are a 6. I'll remember that.
We are right here.
There we go.
Put you back in the correct... Yep, I think you are in the correct turn order. Yep. Okay, so you're back where you belong. And I already did the thugs again. I skipped you accidentally. So Shepherd now.
I look back to the groundskeeper, and then I am pointing towards the gate. That gate remains closed. No one enters, no one leaves until I have your lady safe.
He looks like that pleases him very much, and he nods a very firm nod. It'll stay closed.
Okay. I am going to... I'm assuming it's going to be half 15 to fly down the rest of my 15 feet, which will be about right here.
Uh-huh.
And then I am going to use the dash action to move an additional 30 feet. So that is 18 feet here to the front of the door. Then an additional 12 feet will be about right there to the second bed.
Okay.
And that is my action, my bonus action, the spiritual weapon.
Seeley, I will tell Brett, you are taking very much the long way around, depending on what you intend to do.
I don't know what I'm doing. That's the only door.
You said that
There's
there
a
was
front
balcony
door.
above the door.
There's a the
okay,
front doors are under the balcony.
All right. Well, then if I'm back out here, can I reach the balcony floor in 30 feet? I am currently 15 feet above ground.
Yeah, it would be even with you at 15 feet.
Okay.
Then
Can I retract that and make my way to the balcony instead? I
Yes.
thought that the balcony was much higher.
No, it's at the floor level of the second floor, and a floor is considered 15 feet.
Okay, so then yeah, I'll make my way to the balcony and make my way to a door, a window.
Okay, let me move you to the other map. Hold on, you're going to be zooming here up to the other map, and I'm going to put you on the balcony.
Yep. And then I'll let you know, regardless of what happens, my scythe blinks out of existence because it can only move 20 feet. I can't have it move with me my full movement.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah.
There's no point in trying to have it catch up with me with only 4 turns left in its existence.
Okay, I will put it up here handy in case it gets pulled into existence again, but it's right now off of the map. All right. So you are now standing on the wooden balcony, and there is a small door right here. Narrow door, just like a little kind of French door sort of thing with glass in it. There are curtains, but through the door you can see a woman with her back to you, looking inward towards the house. She is holding a rapier. She doesn't look like she's wielding it very well, but she is attempting to hold it out in front of her like she's getting ready to do some kind of fight. And it looks like there's no... Let me see what you're seeing up there just a second. Maybe some things... Yeah, you can see in through the glass door. Okay, they had it set so that you could actually see. Great. So you are actually seeing in through a glass door, and you can see this noble woman with her back to you. And I'm going to move your token a moment here. I want to just see what all you can see. Yeah, that's all you are able to spot from on the balcony.
Okay. Well, I would move to the front of the door with my wings still in existence for the last bit of flight that I have. Seeing as I can't use the dash action because I'm assuming this door is locked, I am going to use thaumaturgy to increase the loudness of my voice, and I'm going to tell the woman to open the door.
She will jump and turn around and look at you, but I will hold her action until her turn.
I am here to save your lady. Open the door. And then the wings just dematerialize, and I just land softly on the floor. Oh, no, beneath me.
She looks very confused, but she won't actually take an action yet. What were you going to say, Cashin?
Oh, that Mike's computer froze.
Oh, okay.
The poor magnitude.
The Gralhund captain is frantically trying to fight this beastly little flying serpent off, and he will whack at it as hard as he can. And I think... Actually, it's got better... One of those hits. So he does 13 damage on the thing, and it hisses as it drops on the floor. So one of the flying serpents is down. We go up a round. And it is the burnt man's turn. He laughs at the noble who is laying dead in the doorway. Thought you could prevent it. You fools! You should have taken the opportunity when you had it. And at this point, he will jump out through the door and start whacking at the captain.
that's just rude.
Holy smokes. That's another one of those, oh my god. He hits once, and he does a total of 24 damage, including extra damage on the guard captain, who is very, very wounded.
Oof.
And he yells as he does, "Just give us the nimble right and we will leave." And you hear a voice from the other room, "Never! You'll never have him!" And now the shepherd sees this woman turn around towards the door. "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
I am the shepherd. I'm here to save your lady. You may ask the groundskeeper below.
"I am the lady. What are you doing here?"
Then I am here to save you, to make sure that you will remain unharmed.
"I am Yala Gralhund. You will go in and you will destroy these brigands that have tried to take over my house." And she points at to the west, very imperiously, like you have suddenly become one of her servants and you're to defend her. What are you going to do?
I can't do anything until she opens the door.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure the door is wide enough for you to get through. I think it is. She unlocks and opens the door and points so you can step inside.
And I will do so when my turn comes.
And
a woman who knows how to take charge.
If you can see, she's pointing. I don't know if you can see that arrow, but she's pointing that way.
I figured that's where she was pointing.
Okay. And she actually points the rapier out with a very dramatic look, like, "Go that way." All right. The groundskeeper I'm going to take off of the turn order because he is now he and his hounds are making sure that the gate stays closed. And I think, let's see if, yeah, I've got them. They were all on that one turn. All right. So we are now at the two guards that are kind of fighting for their lives. Let's see if they are able to hit their thugs. Top one, oh yes, he certainly did. He rolled two very good hits for 16 damage on the one nearest Gralhund there. That guy is down.
Which one?
I'm going to pile them in the corner rather than put an X on them, because this is going to get awfully hard to figure out who's where. The one in Gralhund has died. He's now stuck there in the corner just to get him out of the floor space area. The second guard attacks thug. In fact, there are two guards there. They are both going to attack the thug to the south of you, Cashin. First one. Yes, they both hit, or I mean, this one hits, and he does, oh yeah, that guy's going to be down. Yep, he's down. This will open the floor space a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of a sudden, things are a lot more opened up. The second guard rushes in to attack the guy with the burns on his face. Both of them hit, I believe, unless he's got some, yeah, they both hit. And so he takes 11 damage. I am very briefly going to see if I can find a picture to pull onto the screen that will show you kind of the image that you are looking at the moment. It will give you a much better idea, but I've got to look for the image. Gralhund, go ahead and take your action.
I've got a question first. Now that I have a face as slightly disfigured as it is to go with the voice, does it help jog my memory at all?
The damage makes it a little hard to tell. Give me another perception roll with advantage this time. The burn is just, it's covered enough of his face, and you recognize that voice. You have heard it somewhere. I'm going to let you roll each time that it's your turn. I'm going to let you roll a perception roll because you're just, I know this guy. Where do I know him from?
I'm sorry, what?
Sorry, it's so close in memory that she's gonna let you keep doing the rolls each
No,
time.
I know, but I was asking what you were saying.
So I was like,
Anyway.
it's so close.
Anyway, since you were kind enough to let us know that these little buggers don't have attacks of opportunity, Relian is going to duck and weave away from the serpent.
No, they don't take attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh.
They don't provoke opportunity attacks, is what I mean.
Oh. Wait, so can they...
If they flew away, you couldn't do an attack of opportunity on them.
But if I move, they could still do an attack.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am not moving. Sorry, miscommunication there. However, the burn man is in line of sight. And just for dramatic effect, I'm going to rule of cool this. Relian is going to snap his fingers, dispel his old man disguise, and say, "Hey, Two-Face, remember me? How would I make you match?" He's going to point his finger at the man, and he's going to aim this at and attempt to get the unburned half of his face. Yes!
He's now got a fully burned face.
Starts laying there screaming, my eyes, my eyes.
And he will be saying something to you on his turn. I'm still trying to, because I've been distracted, I haven't been able to look at all of this. Let me see if I can find the picture that, yes.
Thank goodness for the rule of cool giving me good odds on those dice, because that would have been such a failure if I missed that.
Yeah.
Hey, just think of it this way. You got your bad roll out before this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it looked like upstairs as he was standing over the body of the noble and
I
laughing
cannot
at
see
it.
that.
You can't.
I can see the picture. It's overtaken what I'm stepping
Oh,
on.
yeah, that's right, because of the...
Fog of War.
Yeah,
Dynamic
let me do something a moment. I have another way of doing this. Hang on.
Oh.
Oh, isn't he a looker?
That's the man with the
Before,
burnt face?
yeah, before the burns, he probably was a looker.
But that is what you are seeing as you are looking at what's going on here. Let me double check.
Not a bad outfit.
Yeah, and he's wearing this, dark, clearly Zhentarim kind of outfit that you've come to recognize as being part of it. Okay, let me put you back on the fight page. Now that we've found a way to handle that. And I will
Rule
take...
one about fight page. No one talks about fight page.
Alrighty. Now we are up to after Relian burnt the other half of his face and made him even madder, the two remaining snakes hiss, and the guy points at you, Relian, and the two snakes both head for you.
Oh boy.
That's a case of instant karma, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, how about this? Well, how about this is a lesson of consequences?
Yeah,
Immediate regret.
not really, because I've got a way to get out of this.
Only one of them luckily hit. They rolled a 21 and a 12. And I think you are high. Yeah, you're higher than 12. So only the 21 hit. 1 piercing and another 9 poison damage.
Well, Relian's down.
Do you have a way to get out of this?
I would have if she had rolled just 1 lower, because I could have activated my shield spell, but nope, a 21 gets through it, and Relian's down.
Mm.
Ouch. I'm almost there. Stay alive.
Yeah, well, maybe if you hadn't wasted time fighting a friendly undead,
Hey,
Damn.
hey.
I have conjure
wait.
He's
water,
a lot
not
closer
conjure.
than the rest of us.
I have conjure water, not conjure ice.
All right, Nakri, what are you doing? A lot has been going on.
Yeah, I mean, the only way I can get from where I am to upstairs is if I take a dash action, but then I can't do anything once I get up there.
Not worth it.
I mean, I think
it's
is.
better than that. It's better to get a new target than to.
You can see Varys' legs probably still at the top of the stairs, not able to go any farther.
Yeah, you've got 45 feet to the top, to basically the top of the stairs.
It's basically just to cover. Let me just get up there and get in the turn order so that when it finally is my turn again, I can do something.
Very good.
No,
yeah, you'll finally be able to act.
Yeah,
So I'll consider that you did, and I'm moving you up onto the other thing. So you basically you're standing, and you run up. This guy has actually moved over here now. He's a guard, and you find yourself right over a collapsed Grellion. Shepard, you actually went into the room, didn't you? Or no, it hadn't been your turn. No,
It's not my turn. She's unlocked the door for me to go in.
Right. Okay. When there's a lot of this yelling going on, the door suddenly swings open that Cashin would be able to see it. I don't think anybody else would get a good look at it. The door here swings open, and an enormous orc. He's like 6'6" and very broad-shouldered. He's clearly the rough bodyguard type. He comes storming.
Looks like he has a snaggletooth.
Yeah, he is a nasty-looking orc. He comes rushing out and starts pushing in to do battle with the burnt-faced guy.
Actually, that looks like a cut on his lip.
He is a beat-up guy. He's been in lots and lots of battles. This guy is off the list. I've got it. This one is the one I want. All right, let's see. He is going to attack, and he has multi-attack, and he has full health, so... Yeah, all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Where did the guard standing next to me go?
The one ran around Cashin to start trying to get at the other battle, and the thugs are dead. And this orc comes out, and he hits the burn face guy once, and he does 12 damage on him, and he is roaring at him. He is very mad, and he yells, "I'll kill you, Erstel!"
Erstel? What?
Yeah, you cut out for me.
"I'll kill you, Erstel."
The orc's name is Erstel?
No, the burn man.
Gotcha. Where are my notes?
Epiphany, give me a perception roll to see if you hear this name said.
Okay, perception.
Nope. Nope. Aurelian would clearly have. I'm going to do something behind the scenes as you slowly fade into unconsciousness, Aurelian. Give me another. This time it will just be a history or blank straight intelligence roll, whichever you want to use. As you as you fade away, and you've got advantage. You remember this, but it's too late to shout it out. He was.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what did Valiant know?
He
Why got
can't.
me mixed up?
He can't
No, I
say.
mean,
Epiphany is too distracted by we feel a disturbance in the force.
Yeah. Relian, do you remember OOC?
I remember mine Epi's boss telling us something about Urstel, but I can't remember what.
I remember.
You actually saw him one day.
Oh, he was trying to steal the frickin' mule.
Yeah.
Yep. I was just typing that to you.
That dang talking mule.
And you also saw him in the HQ. So yeah. You have seen this guy running around the edges of things that you've been doing. All right, Epiphany, what are you going to do as an action?
Okay, so I had to go take care of a kid. Which direction did Nakri go?
Up the stairs.
Upstairs.
It's gonna have to be a dash for you.
Barged straight past Varys. Shoulder him into the
You can
door.
make it up to the
Where
enough.
is Varys? I don't see Varys on the field.
He's
Oh,
upstairs. But everybody but
Everyone's
you.
upstairs.
Everybody's upstairs but you.
We will cast Expeditious Retreat as a bonus
Expeditious
action.
retreat.
So we will take a dash as a bonus action.
Okay, just hang on. Stay where you are. I'm going to move you. I'm going to move you up this way. Whee! Going to take a ride. You are up in the crowd on the stairs. Upstairs. So move up.
There's Flaky Snake and a downed Relian.
Do we see? Oh, so we see. So he sees that Aurelian is
Down.
Yeah.
is down.
Yeah. Unmoving.
Is there anybody? Is there anybody standing directly above?
There are some snakes floating above him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's snakes flying around right there. They just attacked Relian and took him down. And there's Nakri right at the head of the stairs looking down at Relian. There's Varys behind you and Cashin on the upper floor along with a Gralhund guard.
Okay, so Epiphany's dash gets him to right here, so he can't go any further. That's a concentration, so let's mark that. And Epiphany looks at the nearest flying snake thing and pulls out not his claw with the tendrils that usually holds his cloak together, but the other one, and it whips out, and the claws just sort of seep out this blackish, green, purple, putrid looking thing, and he just slashes across it. And misses with an 8.
Yep, you miss. Yep.
Bonus
No.
action was the expeditious retreat.
Mhm.
Oh, right. You dash with both action.
All right, this guy is out of the turn order. Cashin.
Well, Cashin is going to take the disengage action and clean up house by attacking this thug here.
Okay.
And since it's just him, it will be this will go into effect.
All right.
Oh, damn.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so
That is 29 damage.
yeah, well, that's what you call a massive case of overkill. He's dead.
And Cashin will now just turn around well, I guess his name is One Face now. and prepare to strike at him when it's his turn again.
Oh, very good. All right, Varys. Now we're starting to move fast.
So, since he can't get to Relian, and he can't get past Nakri and Epiphany...
Well, since they're your side, they would step aside to allow you through. The problem is the snake in front of you.
Yeah, but if I go around behind Epiphany, I would be able to... Regardless, I am going to take...
Aren't they kind of floating somewhat above our heads?
They're they're small. They're tiny creatures. So they're probably within 2 feet of your head, but they're flying just above it.
Just clear the snakes with this man.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Just do it.
Just whack the snake nearest you.
Sorry.
So I will use my trident to attack one of the snakes.
It definitely does, and it hisses and slithers. It coils itself and twists and writhes on the tips of your trident points, and just finally goes dead. So you've got a flying snake dead on your trident tips.
I will stuff the neck into my belt so that its body is hanging, and then I will go sort of stand over Relian, 1 foot on either side, and punch at the other snake.
Very good.
Let's fist.
And for visuals, I'm going to put Relian to the back of you so that they can see that you're the one actually working on things. All right, let's see what remaining thugs we've got here for any fighting. We don't. The thugs are all down except for the burned-faced guy. So basically, I'll take that one off the list. We're down another one. Shepherd, what are you going to do?
Just a question. I got distracted by Sister Aggro. Did my punch hit the snake? Okay. Sorry
Yeah, you took him down.
The second snake too?
Oh, you punched the second snake? Okay, yeah. You're able to take a second attack? All right. Yes, it hit. It did not take him down, but he smacked back against the wall and hissed at you, is a little bit stunned.
So I came up and I stabbed the first snake, and then I went through and I backhanded the second snake into the wall.
Yep. Shepherd.
Snake.
Alright, I'm stepping through. There's 5 feet. There's 10 feet. Is the door open right now?
Yes.
I can see the door open?
Yes.
Alright. 15, 20, 25. I see the burned man. He does look familiar to me, right?
Yes.
This is the guy that tried to steal the horse?
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and... Here, so hold on. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Move my full movement of 30. I am going to cast bonus action spiritual weapon right on top of him.
Alright, that's a big weapon in there, but I'll shrink it down a bit so it looks a little more reasonable for the space.
And that's going to be right on top of him. It can be cast within 30 feet of me.
Alright, and then you have an action too.
I can't cast another spell though, so my regular action is pretty much moot. But where is spiritual weapon? Does a 10 hit?
No.
No.
Yeah, this guy's a rogue.
Alright, and then that ends my turn.
The captain swings at the burned guy. Erstal will call him now, since we know his name. Captain, where are you? There you are. And he does this one. $15 and a 20, both of those hit, I believe. Yes. Alright, so he does a total of 22 damage to the guy.
Impressive.
Nice.
The guard does that?
Mm-hmm. The guard
Nice.
captain.
Erstal goes from having an arrogant smirk on his face to suddenly clutching his chest in one fell swoop. All right, we are on.
Don't forget, he no longer has a pretty face.
All right, we're Erstal makes his attack, and he is going to try and take down the very injured captain. And he rolls a ton of dice. But he misses twice. He's too injured.
Ooh.
And I want to check to see if she has any spellcasting abilities. No, she doesn't. So we will skip her. She's just shouting from the other room. You hear her shout two things. Kill him! Kill him! And then you hear her say, stay where you are, children! And we're up to
the woman behind me?
Yes.
I didn't see any children.
That's right, you didn't.
Ah, okay. Oh, I do see a door to the south of me, though.
And the two guards, all the guards, rush in, attempting to get a final whack on Erstal, trying to take him down. So he's going to be hit by 3 guards, or be attacked by 3 guards.
Not living long.
Yeah, they're pretty upset with him now. 1, 2. Both of those miss. 1, 2. That one hits for 9. He's down.
Ursula's down.
Oh, damn. And Cashin wanted to ask him questions.
Well, we'll just have to claim the body.
I mean, he is within time frame of me still being able to heal him from him being knocked down to 0 hit points. I could bring him back.
Except for the fact that there is somebody tied up downstairs, I will consider you out of combat. You'll probably handle
Snake.
Oh yeah, there is one snake, right. So let me get him off the turn order. Yeah, we'll just leave it. Relian is down. Give me a death save, but I don't think you're going to have to worry much.
Unless you're getting that one. Like that.
Oh, it's been nice knowing you guys.
You have 3, relax.
Only fail 2.
No.
One more.
Yeah, but a nat
You get
1.
a 20. And that 20 brings you back up with 1 hit point, and that 1 counts as 2 failed death saves.
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
Relian is starting to convulse on the floor from the poison.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you're starting to see that light in the distance, and voices going, "Don't go to the light! Don't go to the light!"
Mistra, is that you? Your bosom is perfect.
Oh, God.
He goes to the afterlife he'd wanted to.
Yeah, the flying snake moves in on Varys.
Glad he's not moving in on Relian.
He
There's
can't.
2 people on top of me.
And he does a 17. What's your armor class?
I think I have 16. Yeah, 16.
All right, you just took 1 piercing damage and 8 poison.
Another 9. Down to 5.
That poison.
These snakes are going to turn out to be the death of all of you.
Not
And
long.
there's only one of them, yeah. Nakri's gonna go in and whack it.
All right, Nakri, smash this snake into a blot on the wall.
Offensive little piece of shit.
Miss.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yep, that's a miss.
Okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. Because I'm just gonna do, let's see, that.
Ba-da-da.
Only you still missed.
If only I had the advantage on that. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with this. Wild
Epiphany,
little offensive floaty thing.
come
Epiphany,
end
avenge
this.
your brother.
Nope.
Come end this immortal snake.
the big orc goes thud, 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 and walks across the room and swings at it.
Watch it miss too.
13, I don't think that hits.
Miss.
It doesn't.
Miss.
He missed.
The immortal snake!
I am Khan, the snowflake. All would worship me.
And meanwhile, Epiphany, and this is story that those of you who are watching don't know. This is a story that goes back 12 years. Meanwhile, Epiphany is watching and going, I like serpents. I think I will become one.
Rule number, I think, 36 of Evil Overlords: don't turn into a giant snake. It never helps.
You just
Turn into a giant anything.
It is your turn, Epiphany.
Is this the one that harmed Relian?
Yes, it is.
Magic missile.
Evil eyes.
Yeah, we are going to just. Should I save the spell slots? That's the question.
Let's make another attack roll. Let's see if it's still the immortal serpent.
Yeah, Epiphany will. Epiphany will squeeze through, and this time will bring his tail out and stab into it. Corrosive strike.
All right.
You pierce through into the wall, and blood begins running down the wall as the serpent falls dead on the point of your tail.
And the tail's like twisted in like a weird
He's
angle.
Oh my God,
twitching.
your camera-
He's twitching on the wall.
Glitchy now.
Like Darkseid's Omega beams with your tail.
Yeah. Epiphany starts eating it.
It's
If it
venomous.
takes 10d10 poison damage.
I'm going to, since we are now officially out of combat, I will immediately call for the shepherd and let him know that we have a man down.
I am going to go ahead and move all the way over. I can't see where Relian is.
Yeah, I know. Varus has been standing with his feet across of him, so we'll move him away so you can find Relian.
Yeah. I'll
It needs
give
to be
him.
bigger just for scale, but
We're gonna go
I'll
with
slide
where
down
is
that way
it?
just for time being. I
Cure
think-
wounds. You get 11 health back because he is at 0 hit points.
You were just at the light, and your goddess was standing there in all her radiant glory, and you reached out for her, and suddenly, like something out of a movie, you were pulled back, and she disappears off in the distance, getting smaller and smaller.
And
I'd like
right in
to-
her place is the shepherds.
It's like Kenny being brought back from heaven in the South Park movie.
Yep.
Denied.
Relian immediately sits up, like you see in like those old movies or cartoons, where you just immediately just sits up from the waist. He looks around at everyone and just says, "Happy birthday!"
Varus will move so that he does not faceplant directly into Varus's nutsack as he's sitting up.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a pleasant excursion into the afterlife.
Epiphany moves very defensively around Relian.
And Cashin will just quip. When I was down those 2 times, I just felt absolutely nothing. A complete cessation of being.
That's because
You can
you're a
hear.
faithless dog.
You can also hear some yelling going on. It looks like there's some kind of argument out at the front gate, but it's not. It sounds like the groundskeeper's having some kind of argument out there, but you can do as you wish with it.
I step back up. Excuse me, I have another person to save, and I'm making my way to Erstal.
Well, meanwhile, Cashin's actually looting Erstal and the other
Oh,
pellets.
come on, I was just about to... Can I loot Urstal, please?
I will go to.
No, I'm going to Erstal, and I'm
Okay,
casting the
guys,
healing word on healing word on him.
You're all pretty. Stop looting the body now, because it's going to look mighty suspicious in front of the
Yeah.
whole house guard.
Exactly.
You're putting your hands in some side some dude's pocket.
Varys will turn
don't
to
care.
Coffee and say, "Perhaps it's better we leave now before they start asking questions we don't want to answer."
We have nothing to hide. We came to help.
I
and
have a
want
scarf
answers.
wrapped around my face.
Roll your healing on Ursula.
If he's at 0 hit points, he gets an immediate 7.
All right. So he rolls over and groans and starts to fight his way up.
Yep, and I'm already trying to pin him to the ground, yelling for Cashin to help me.
All right, Cashin will keep his will just pull out his rapier again and just point it at the man's throat.
I will go over to then put my foot on this dude's back and keep him pinned.
We find
Okay.
this scene incredibly familiar.
Varys will go over with his rope. He's gonna need to buy more after this.
I
see
will
two
also
vests and
look.
zip ties.
I'll look towards the captain of the guard and go. My apologies. This one seems to match the description of someone we've been searching for.
And I'm looking because I have to see some fine details of exactly what's going to happen here. So give me a moment. I have to look at. There's a lot of people
course.
involved in this story, and I need to. All right. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Now I've got to look at something else. Yeah, this'll be interesting. What will happen? Now I got to see what. All right, you will hear her run out the door to the balcony, and she will yell, "Let them in! Let them in!" And I have one other sheet that I have to look at because, yeah. All right, so let's play this out, and that will let me know exactly how this will play out. All right, so you've got Erstal tied up. He is very lock-jawed. You can tell he's going to be very resistant to saying anything, and he is glaring at the guards. Everybody's got their swords or whatever leveled at him, and he looks like he'd rather die than say anything.
Varys is making his way back downstairs. He's going to cast Cure Wounds on himself because he was almost dead.
Right.
Cure wounds?
You had Cure Wounds and you didn't heal Relian?
Epiphany notices this, and Varys loses the reputation he gained.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun.
I thought it was handled. Besides,
Relian was down.
I had
Yeah.
few failures.
yeah, but you didn't, and then I didn't have a chance to heal you before it came back to my turn. You had 3 death saves when I chose to attack the snake.
We're talking about even afterwards, though.
I
After the
couldn't do
combat.
anything when it's not my turn. Oh,
No, after combat.
because you. Well, I couldn't because you jumped on it.
That's it. It's fine.
Yeah,
We're fine. It all came out. It all came out in the end. They're just laughing at you that probably you had a chance to use it, and because of all the crazy activity, it didn't happen to come up.
Meanwhile, Cashin is trying to think this through. All right, so Cashin's thinking in his head. The Nimblewright was detected as to being here. The Zhentarim agent that fled the fireball scene was found here. He's trying to figure things out.
I got a theory, but we'll wait for off camera to go through that one.
Well, I mean, I wanna try and see if I can make an intelligence roll on it right now.
Again, even if you succeed like you did before, it's only a suspicion. It's not proven.
Yeah, I know. So, flat intelligence, or can I do an investigation roll?
You can do either one.
All right. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy.
Yeah, you would succeed at your suspicion. So you have a definite. You're putting a lot together, and you suspect you have an idea of what's going on. Do you want to say what you think your idea is?
I think that the Gralhunds were in league with the Zhentarims.
I wouldn't admit that right now.
He thinks it, but apparently the Lord and Lady had some sort of falling out with Erstul, or they took advantage of his weakness from the fireball to betray him.
Before the city guards show up, and while everyone around them is exhausted and not paying the closest attention, Raelian is rifling through Erstul's pockets. He's looking for something very specific.
I also have to say that Cashin also thinks that because of the Nimblewright being detected here, they were the one who sent the Nimblewright out and ordered it to attack Erstul while he was in the middle of his little theft.
A huge case at wrong place at wrong time for a lot of things.
Lady Gralhund pulls herself together, straightens her dress, lays the rapier down on a table, and she steps to the door in all her regalness, and she says, "The guards are at the gate. I would advise that perhaps it would be best if you left out the back before they came. I will merely talk about my guards having defeated my husband." And this is the first time she realizes as she moves further into the room that her husband is dead.
Is looking behind him, is like, oh.
I thought Shepard was already taking care of him.
No, he did Erstul. He didn't take care of Orond. And she runs to him, and she turns, and now she's glaring at you and the guards. "You didn't defend him! Leave now!"
Ma'am, I think you're in no position to talk here.
Cashin.
Oh, we have...
Cashin. No. Milady, excuse his words for a moment. We're a little bit on edge from the battle. First of all, by the time most of us arrived, we had not seen what had transpired. If we had known that he had stepped out, we would have come to his aid immediately.
"You will leave these premises right now, or I will inform the guards and the city watch when they arrive that it was you that attacked us."
Despite the fact that there are witnesses outside that saw us coming in as the attack was going on, who will they believe? 100 witnesses or one?
"I will tell them that you joined the others in attacking my family and that you killed my husband."
And I will tell the priesthood the undead on your lands, which I do believe is a crime in this city for blasphemy against the gods. How would you like to play this, lady?
I am quite sure they will find nothing.
I'm curious,
We will take
my
our
lady.
leave, but I will take him, and I will point to Erstul.
What are you doing with Erstul?
We're
I
taking
want to
him.
take him with him.
Real quick, do I know off the top of my head how much I mean, these guys are obviously wealthy, but how much would it cost to go to a temple and have someone resurrect him? Is that a service that the wealthy can afford in Waterdeep?
The wealthy can, yes. It's a fairly expensive spell. Somewhere in all of the books there is a list of those costs.
The cheapest one that I do know of off the top of my head is a diamond worth 300 gold.
Well, yes, but the book also provides spells that other people can cast for a set price amount, which is usually greater than just the raw materials required for the spell. I think it's like 500 gold per spell level, but I'm not certain.
She'll probably go and have him resurrected then. These guys are rich.
Mm-hmm.
If it was 150 gold or less, Brilliant would have offered just to pay for the guy's resurrection, but don't have it.
No, she's being kind of a big old bee, so I'm thinking we cut our losses and run. And it's not going to do any good to point fingers at her. Like literally, you were pointing fingers at a noble, even if it's a minor one.
In her own house.
Yeah, don't frickin' do that. Like, enough with that line of thought, and just get out. Just
500 gold to do Speak with Dead, and 1,000 to do a Raise Dead.
Eesh.
Well, Cashin, despite still staring at the lady in a rather hard way, relents and looks to Nakri and it says, "Yeah, let's take this. Let's take a good old burn face here and see what he has to say."
With the lady of the house, of course.
As
I don't care for what her opinion is, we are taking them either way.
As you pick him,
don't.
As you pick him up and put him on his feet, she looks at him with daggers, and she points at him but says nothing. And he turns and smirks at her.
Can I do an insight check?
Yes.
Damn.
No.
You think they're ex-lovers?
Or probably
Can any of us roll insight?
Or whisper or something like that.
Can any of us roll insight, or is that...
Sure, any of you that are watching this, that are in the room with this, would be able to do so. Varys is not in the room. He is downstairs.
Crunch.
The shepherd feels like she has pointed at, if you do anything, and he just has grinned in her face like he's got something. He's basically saying, yeah, you should wish.
Am I taking it as, like, a threat?
She threatens him, and he is laughing at her.
Then I just ignore it.
Can I just stick Nokri's like nails into the back of this guy's throat, just kind of like pinch it like scruffing a dog or a cat?
Sure, and he grimaces but doesn't make a sound. He just grits his teeth.
I'll force him to bow to the lady for his departure. And...
Over Shepherd's shoulder.
Oh no,
Not
I
my
thought he was
shoulder.
standing. I thought he was
He's
standing.
standing.
He's standing.
Oh,
So
yeah,
she's basically
yeah.
just forcing him to bow in respect.
And
then we'll start moving him.
the Lady Gralhund laughs at him when you do this.
As we're on our way out, Ms. Ruth, did you see my whisper to you?
Yes, I did. And you do not come up with anything like that. Meanwhile, Varys has been busy downstairs. And when you go downstairs, Varys is nowhere in sight, and neither is the guy who was tied to the table.
They were in cahoots.
There is clearly the sound of the groundskeeper trying to fast talk the guards to keep them from entering in the front gate. So what are you going to do as you leave? Are you going to do the guards?
Yeah, back up the stables.
Okay. So you are able to rush out the back. The servants, you find the servants have all moved into the stables. They're huddled in there along with a stable hand that probably was the one whistling and humming when you came in, and you are able to get out the back. Are you going to tell them anything about what transpired upstairs?
I'll tell them that it's safe to return in the house. You'll have a lot of work to do.
You will notice that the mound of dirt that was in front of the door has also been returned to what looks like its original place.
Very good.
I'm not gonna leave the guy in there to starve.
My scythe would have dispelled by now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how far and where do you want to text me, or do you want to just say, Varys, where exactly?
I'll just say I didn't go far. I went far enough away. I'm standing like 100 feet away at the opposite end of the street, so that I can keep an eye on what's going down, in case any guards can't start coming out of that door or around the other way. It wouldn't look suspicious, but so that I could still keep an eye on when they came out and if I could go back to them. I am sitting with my hand around this guy's tied wrists.
And he is alive, but that's all you can say. He's very weak. He's pretty well bled out. He's hardly able to talk, barely able to breathe. He's going to need healing very quickly if you're going to do anything more with him.
I will cast what's it called? Healing word, not a full cure wounds, because I don't want him to feel that good.
You had
Right,
two
okay.
spells.
I have 2 spell slots, just like any first level spellcaster.
No, that's not my question. You have 2 healing spells.
Yes,
Guys, we'll
but I
argue
didn't
this
get a
after.
chance to use them on you.
We'll argue this later.
Okay, so he now has,
Doesn't like this life a whole lot.
yeah, he has 5 hit points now. He's weak, but he realizes that struggling might not be in his best interest, so he's cooperating. Alrighty, so we will consider that you guys managed to hightail it out the back and you get out and head away. She has said that if you left the premises, she would not mention that you were who you were. The servants don't know who you were, and so basically she's going to play down your activity and just going to have the guards be responsible for this. But you have a lot more suspicions floating around. There's a lot of things going on, and Relian knows that something he was looking for did not turn up anywhere. So
Brilliant, mad right now.
Oh, speaking of, what else did the thug have?
which
Or Erstool.
uh,
Erstool.
he wasn't looking on him for riches. He was only looking for an item, and he
But
did
did
not
he
find it.
have anything on him?
There is more on him, but nobody, has taken it off of him at this point.
Now,
I know.
question: is it the cart that we got? Is it open, or is there like a roof on it?
It's a roof. It's a kind of a 4-man carriage.
Sweet. We need to get that around the corner so we can load this punk in it and then fucking search him proper.
Yeah, but we can take care of that next week.
Pardon the French.
Very good. Okay, so you will get the carriage around. The thug will go in. Who will the 3 people be in the 4-man carriage with him? The driver rides up on front.
Cashin will be keeping him under close guard as he rifles through his pockets and pouches.
Just the thug. Okay, so the thug,
Erstool, that is.
Oh, okay. So you're getting Erstel in there. So you've got a thug and Erstel that'll have to go in the carriage. So two people will go in.
We're not taking another thing. We're only taking Erstel.
What's Varys doing with the thug?
We got something bigger than.
I don't know you have him.
Yeah, I know.
Because you just
So we're gonna get downstairs, and unless Varys is dragging the guy by himself, we're gonna run into him. We're gonna be like, leave him.
Exactly.
Just leave him for the guards to find.
Just a moment.
Leave him kind of like Spider-Man, leaving him like tied up and ready for the guards.
I'm going to move all of you to the back of the barn area so that you have some idea of what's going on and you can see better, so we'll know what you'll be able to plan better for what you're doing next week. I'm gathering you all. I'm missing one of you. Who am I missing? Varys, I have Chef Relian. Where are you?
I don't know.
Off into the ether.
Under the guard, that's where you are. Okay. All right, now let me grab this group and pull you down behind. We're all going out behind the woodshed, kiddies.
It's where we put dogs down. How appropriate.
All right, so there you are, hiding out while the whole crowd is up at the front gate. You guys sneak out the back gate, and you're out in the alley. So let's handle just what you're doing with this thug, the minor thug.
So you guys all come out of the stables again. Varys starts walking towards you and then slows down as he sees that you're walking out with Urstel.
I would just leave that one tied up in the barn. Let the guards find him there.
Let the servants have their rounds with him.
Yeah. He's trussed up. Let him beat him up.
Is that acceptable?
He's near death.
This one.
I don't know, just knock him out or something.
I have an idea. I will go back. I'll drag him back into the barn. I will use mold earth to make a human-sized hole in the ground, put him in the hole, and then bury him back up to his neck. Yep.
Wait, no, please don't leave me here. I can work for you. Sorry.
Oh, he's doomed.
Come back, I'll bite your knee, I will.
I'll bite your ankle.
I'll look to anyone who's remaining in the stable and say, have fun, and go back out and close the door.
Okay, so Urstel and which three people will ride off in the carriage?
Epi and Ro.
I would say
And Cashin.
I would
Okay.
say weakest.
We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do Epi, Rel, and Cashin. That's a good quickie thing to pull together. So that's what we'll do. Where will the carriage be directed to go?
Troll Skull for now.
All right. And where are the three who are not riding going to be headed?
Back home.
Skull.
Gotcha. All right.
All
so
in the morning's work.
Yeah. So when we get back in it will be like 2 o'clock in the afternoon by the time you get back. So all of you will start up at Troll Skull next week with a prisoner and many questions unanswered. So we will see what's going on. Now, level 4.
We're level 4?
Yeah.
Ooh, I know what I'm gonna get.
As we crawl into the carriage, Epiphany will establish a mental connection with Ursula and will just say, "Hello again."
Oh, the second we start moving, Relian is unsheathing Mr. Ritual, which is what he calls his dagger, and he's just gently placing it by his throat and says, "I've got so many questions, Urstel. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?"
I will say before we load him up, though, Nokri will go, "I want answers from his hide, too. Make sure I am there when you question him."
Yep, you've got lots of questions. So we will see what develops with that next week. So you are ready to go. And because things went so fast, bam, slam, boom, and bang, you also never got, in case you want to use them, you never got your level 3 quests from your factions. So you can either go directly to your level 4 quests, or you can add to that your level 3 quests. So that will be an option.
Pasco, do not collect $200.
All right, gang. It's been quite a fight here at the Gralhund Estate. We definitely need some words of wisdom from Relian.
Bye, everybody. Remember, the fact that that all geniuses were laughed at does not correlate that all who are laughed at are geniuses. They laughed at Columbus. They laughed at Fulton. They laughed at the Wright brothers. But they also laughed at Bozo the Clown.
This is true. Okay, very good, gang. We will see you next week for more of the excitement on Water Dance. Thank you for joining Crone's Crucible. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Zhentarim doesn't feed us.
Ouch!